Dear students, in first year you have learned different classes of functions, functions like constant function, right? Constant function, identity function, polynomial functions, reciprocal functions, and after that modulus function, greatest integer function, right? Signum function, trigonometric functions, right? And also in second year you have learned inverse trigonometric functions, correct? So today we are going to discuss two more classes of functions, and that the first one is exponential function. One is exponential function and the other one is logarithmic function. Okay, exponential function. First let us see the definition of exponential function. Take down the definition first. The exponential function with base, b, where b is more than 1, is the function y is equal to f of x is equal to b to the power x. The exponential function with base b, which is more than 1, is the function y is equal to b per x, or f of x equal to b to the power x. For example, y is equal to 2 per x. What is the base here? Base is 2. Y is equal to 5 per x. This is also an exponential function. What is the base here? Base is 5. Y is equal to 10 per x. This is an exponential function. Here base is 10, right? Now we shall draw the graph of these three functions. Okay, we shall draw the graph of these three functions, and based on the graph we shall discuss some important points. I have already drawn the graph of these three functions. You just draw this diagram. Okay, see the curve in the blue color is the graph of the function y is equal to 2 per x. You just take 2 points. See, for x is 0, what is the value of 2 per 0 is 1, right? So graph of the function y is equal to 2 per x, 0 comma 1. Next take x is equal to 1, value of y becomes 2 per 1 is 2. So when x is 1, y is 2, correct? So I got 2 points. So join them, draw the graph. So the blue color graph is graph of the function y is equal to 2 per x. Similarly, see the brown color graph. It is a graph of the function y is equal to 5 per x. How on that graph? I have taken 2 points. If I put x is 0, y becomes 5 per 0. 5 per 0 is nothing but 1, correct? Next, I put x is 1. When x is 1, what is the value of y? 5 per 1 is 5. I got 2 points. I have joined those 2 points. Then I got the graph of the function y is equal to 5 per x. Okay. Next, to draw the graph of the function y is equal to 10 per x, I require 2 points. So when I put x is 0, y becomes 10 per 0, that is 1, correct? I got this point. Next, if I put x is 1, I'll get y is 10 power 1, that is 10. I have joined these 2 points, then I got the graph of the function y is equal to 10 power x. Okay. So from this diagram, what we can observe, all the 3 graphs passes, all the 3 graphs, all the 3 curves pass through the point 0, 1, correct? Or in other words, we can say the point 0, 1 lies on the graph of exponential, any exponential function. So that's observation number 1. Next, can you find the domain of exponential function? Can you find the domain? See, here we have graph in the left side of y-axis. That means x can take any negative value, and the graph has some parts to the right side of y-axis. That means x can take any positive value, and all the 3 graphs touch the y-axis at this point. That means at this point value of y is 0. Value of x is 0, right? Value of x is 0. Value of x is 0. That means x can take any positive value, any negative value, or x can take 0 also. So clearly domain of the function is, domain of any exponential function is set of all real numbers R. Okay. Next, what is the range? What is the range of the exponential function? You just observe all the 3 curves lie above the x-axis. They do not touch the x-axis and they do not lie below the x-axis. That means value of y is always positive. So range of the function is set of all positive real numbers, correct? So range of the exponential function, any exponential function, is set of all positive real numbers, or you can also write it as open interval 0, infinity. So domain of the function, domain of any exponential function is set of all real numbers. Range of any exponential function is set of all positive real numbers. Point number 3, the point 0, 1 lies on the graph of the exponential function. Next, any other observation we can make out from this diagram? See, as we move from left to right, x increases, right? As x increases, y also increases, right? That means the exponential function with base more than 1 is ever increasing function. The exponential function with base more than 1 is ever increasing. You just see, as x increases, value of y also increases, right? So the exponential function with base 1 is ever increasing function. Okay, just one more observation here. As x takes more and more negative values, the graph of the exponential functions approaches the x-axis, but the graphs do not touch the x-axis. That, or in other words, for large and negative values of x, the exponential function is very close to 0, but value of y doesn't become 0. It's very close to 0 when x is very large, when x takes very large negative value. So these are the 5 observations we can make out from the graphs of these 3 exponential functions, correct? So now we shall write down all the 5 important observations one by one. Okay, so observation number 1. Observation number 1. Observation number 1. Observation number 1. Domain of domain of the exponential function, domain of the exponential function is set of all real numbers R, is set of all real numbers R. Okay. Second, these are important observations. Okay, important observations. First observation, domain of the exponential function is the set of all real numbers R. The set of all real numbers. Correct. Next, second one, range of the exponential function, is the set of all positive real numbers, or you can also write it as open interval 0, infinity. It's very clear from the graph. See the graphs of these three exponential functions. They do not touch x-axis and they do not lie below the x-axis. So that means y can take only positive values. So range of the exponential function is the set of all positive real numbers R plus, or you can also write it as open interval 0, infinity. Next, observation number 3. The point you just observe here, all the three curves pass through the point 0, 1, right? All the three curves pass through the point 0, 1, or in other words, the graph of the exponential function always passes through the point 0, 1, or in other words, the point 0, 1 always lies on the graph of exponential function. The point 0, 1, the point 0, 1 lies on the graph of the exponential function, because when x is 0, b per 0 becomes 1. So when x is 0, value of y is 1. b per 0 is nothing but 1, correct? Next, observation number 4. Exponential function with base more than 1. This is more important. Exponential function with base b, which is more than 1, is ever increasing function, Exponential function with base b more than 1 is ever increasing. Ever increasing means when we move from left to right on the x-axis, the graph rises above. Okay, value of y goes upwards. Okay. Next, last one, point number 5. For large negative value of x, the exponential function is very close to 0. You just observe the graph. As you give more and more negative value for x, the graph comes closer and closer to x-axis. Okay. So these are the 5 observations we can make out from the graphs of exponential functions. Okay. So next, just make a note of this. Note number 1. See, sum of this infinite series 1 plus 1 by 1 factorial plus 1 by 2 factorial plus 1 by 3 factorial plus 1. This is an infinite series. Its value is denoted by E. Okay. Sum of the infinite series, value of the sum of, infinite sum of the series is denoted by E. Its value is approximately equal to, value of E is approximately equal to 2.713. Okay. You just remember, infinite sum of this series is denoted by E. Its value is approximately equal to 2.713. Okay. Next, note number 2. The logarithmic function with base 10, here in place of b I have taken 10. So this is the exponential function with base 10. The exponential function with base 10 is called, this is called common exponential function. Common exponential function. Okay. I repeat, the exponential function with base 10 is called common exponential function. Similarly, the exponential function with the base E, I have already told you, E is nothing but infinite sum of this series whose value is approximately equal to 2.713. If the base is E, then the exponential function is called natural exponential function. Natural exponential function. Okay. So if the base of the exponential function is 10, then it is called common exponential function. If the base of the exponential function is E, then it is called natural exponential function. These two are two special exponential functions. Okay. Next we shall move on to definition. Logarithm. Next definition, logarithm. Logarithm. Let b be a real number such that b is more than 1. That means b is any real number bigger than 1. Then we say, x is the, logarithm of a, x is the logarithm of a to the base b, if b per x is equal to a. See, whenever b per x is a, then we say x is the logarithm of a to the base b, and we write that like this. See, whenever b per x is a, then we say the power x is the logarithm of a to the base b. We write that like this, log a to the base b. B per x is, whenever b per x is a, then the power x is called the logarithm of a to the base b, and we write that like this. For example, let us take some example. We know that 2 power 3 is 8, correct? Isn't this of this form? In place of x we have 3, in place of b we have 2, in place of a we have 8. Okay, here 2 is the base and 3 is the power. The power 3 is called logarithm of 8 to the base 2. Understood? The power 3 is called logarithm of 8 to the base 2, and we write that like this. Similarly, I'll take some more examples. 10 power minus 1, 1 by 10, or you can write it as 0.1, correct? What is the power here? Negative 1. So negative 1 is the logarithm of 0.1 to the base 10. Understood? The power negative 1 is called the logarithm of this number. What is this number? 0.1 to the base 10. Similarly, I'll take one more example. If I take 3 power minus 2, 3 power minus 2 is 1 by 3 square or 1 by 9. Here the power negative 2 is the logarithm of 1 by 9 to the base 3. Logarithm of 1 by 9 to the base 3. Okay, and further you have to make a note of this. Note. See, if b is any valid base, b per 0 is always equal to 1, correct? So that means 0 is the logarithm of 1 to the base b, or in other words, logarithm of 1 to any valid base is always equal to 0, correct? I repeat, b per 0 is 1, so the power 0 is called logarithm of 1 to the base b. So logarithm of 1 to any valid base is always equal to 0. So this is the note number 1. Next, note number 2. What is b power 1? B power 1 is b itself. So that means 1 is the logarithm of b to the base b itself. Or in other words, logarithm of any number to the same base is always equal to 1. Okay. So now with this background we can define a logarithmic function. Okay. Next, logarithmic function. Logarithmic function. Let b be any real number such that b is bigger than 1. Okay, I have taken b as a real number bigger than 1. The logarithmic function with base b more than 1 is defined by log x to the base b is equal to y. Log x to the base b is equal to y if b power y is equal to x. If b power y is equal to x. See, whenever b power y is equal to x, the power y, what is the power here? B, y, right? The power y is called logarithm of x to the base b. Okay, so the logarithmic function with base b, where b is more than 1, is defined by log x to the base b is y if b per y is equal to x. Okay, so whenever b per y is x, the power y is nothing but log x to the base b. Okay, so next, similar here also the function with logarithmic function with base 10 is called common logarithm function. Okay, common logarithmic function is the function whose base is 10. Log x to the base 10. If the function is of this form, if the base is 10, then the logarithmic function is called common logarithmic function. Similarly, if the base is e, then the logarithmic function is called natural logarithmic function. Okay, natural logarithmic function. If the base of the logarithmic function is 10, then it is called common logarithmic function. If the base of the logarithmic function is e, then it is called natural logarithmic function. Okay, now let us draw the graph of some logarithmic functions. I have already drawn. Okay, I'm going to show you the graphs of 3 logarithmic functions. See, here I have taken 3 logarithmic functions. One is y is equal to log x to the base 2. Second one is y is equal to log x to the base 5. And third one is y is equal to log x to the base 10. Okay. How to draw the graph? You just take, we know that when x is 1, logarithm of 1 to any base is always equal to 0, correct? Logarithm of 1, just now we have learned that. See here. Since b per 0 is 1, 0 is log 1 to the base b, or in other words, logarithm of 1 to any valid base is always equal to 0. Okay. Similarly, logarithm of any number to the same base is always equal to 1, correct? I'm going to use these two. See, when I put x is 1, in all the 3 cases, I will get y as 0, right? So, all the 3 curves pass through the point 1, 0. So, when I put x is 1, log 1 to the base 2 is 0, log 1 to the base 5 is also 0, log 1 to the base 10 is also 0. Okay. So, all the 3 curves pass through the point 1, 0. Next, to draw the curve, I require at least 2 points. So, next, if I put, here I will put x is 2. Here I will put x is 2. Log 2 to the base 2. We know that logarithm of any number to the same base is always equal to 1, correct? So, I will get 2, 1. I got 2 points. So, using these 2 points, I can draw the graph. I have already drawn the graph of function y is log x to the base 2. The green color curve is the graph of the function y is log x to the base 2. Similarly, for x is 1, log 1 to the base 5 is 0. Next, if I put x is 5, log 5 to the base 5 is 1, correct? Right? Next, so using these 2 points, one can draw the graph of log x to the base 5. See the blue color curve. Blue color curve is the graph of log x to the base 5. Similarly, put x is 1, log 1 to the base 10 is 0. I got 1 point. Next, put x is 10, log 10 to the base 10 is 1, correct? So, when x is 10, y is 1. Okay. So, you can draw the graph of log x to the base 10. So, the pink color curve is the graph of the function log x to the base 10. Okay. So, from these 3 curves, what we can observe? So, what is the domain? What is the domain of logarithmic function? See here, these 3 curves do not lie to the left side of y-axis. That means they do not take negative values. Of course, these 3 curves do not touch the y-axis. That means these 3 curves do not take the value, x do not take the value 0, right? So, x can take only positive values. Log x is defined only when x is positive. So, domain of the function is set of all positive real numbers, correct? So, that's observation number 1. Next, observation number 2. What is the range of logarithmic function? See here, at this point value of y is 0, at all other points value of y is positive. Here, at all these points value of y is negative. So, y can be 0, y can be positive, y can be negative. So, range is set of all real numbers are, correct? So, that's observation number 2. Next, observation number 3. See, all the 3 curves pass through the point 1, 0. or in other words 1 comma 0 always lies, the point 1 comma 0 always lies on the graph of logarithmic function, correct? Next, is it ever increasing? As we move from left to right along the x-axis, y increases, right? Therefore clearly logarithmic function with base more than 1 is ever increasing function. Next, when x is very close to 0, the value of log x becomes more and more or larger and larger negative value, correct? Or in other words, if you take smaller and smaller values for x very close to 0, the curve of log function goes closer and closer to the y-axis in the fourth quadrant, correct? So these are the observations we can make out from the graphs of these three logarithmic functions. Okay, so just make the important observations. Important observations. First one, domain of logarithmic function. Domain of the logarithmic function is set of all positive real numbers, or you can also write it as open interval 0, infinity, correct? Next, observation number 2, range of logarithmic function. Range of logarithmic function is the set of all real numbers R. Range of the logarithmic function is the set of real numbers R. Observation number 3, the point you just observe here, this point 1 comma 0 lies on the graph of log function, right? So the point 1 comma 0 lies on the graph of the logarithmic function, Next, observation number 4, the logarithmic function with base more than 1, with base b more than 1 is ever increasing, okay? Point number 5, for x very close to 0, the value of log x can be made lesser than any given real number, okay? Or in other words, as x tends to 0, y tends to negative infinity, or the graph approaches y-axis in the fourth quadrant, okay? We shall draw one more graph, okay? So we shall draw one more graph now. I'll take two functions, one is exponential, another one is logarithmic function. I'll take y is equal to e per x. Y is equal to e per x is natural exponential function. Next, I'll take natural logarithmic function, so y is equal to log x to the base e, okay? So now we shall draw the graph of these two functions. This is the x-axis, okay, this is origin, this is the y-axis. We shall take 2 points. So when x is 0, y is e power 0 is 1. Next, when x is 1, value of y is e. Okay, value of y is e is, it is 2.7 something. Okay, so the graph of this natural exponential function will be like this: 0, 1. Okay, I got 1 comma e is 2.7 something. See, this is the graph of the function y is equal to e power x. Okay, next we shall draw the graph of the natural logarithmic function. So for that I require 2 points. First I will put x is 1, log 1 to any valid basis always equal to 0, correct? So I got the point 1 comma 0. Next I will take value of x as e. Log e to the base c, logarithm of any number to the same base is always equal to 1, correct? So one point is 1 comma 0, I got this point. Another point is e comma 1, e is 2.7 something, 1 comes somewhere here, correct? So this is the graph of the function y is equal to log x to the base e. Okay, what we can observe in this diagram is these two curves are reflections or images of each other about the line y is equal to x. See the dotted line? The dotted line is nothing but y is equal to x, the line y is equal to x. These two curves are images or reflections of each other about this line y is equal to x. Whenever the graphs of two functions are reflections of each other about the line y is equal to x, then those two functions are inverse to each other. Okay, so the exponential function e power x and logarithmic function log x to the base e, these two are inverse to each other. Okay, so you have to make a note of this. Okay, so just make a note of this. Observation number 6. The graphs of the functions y is equal to e power x and y is equal to log x to the base e are mirror images of each other about the line y is equal to x. Say whenever the graphs of two functions are mirror images or reflections of each other about the line y is equal to x, then those two functions are inverse to each other. So this implies e power x and log x to the base e are inverse to each other, okay, these two functions are inverse to each other. Okay, so you have to remember exponential function and logarithmic function are inverse to each other. Okay, so next we shall move on to properties of logarithm. Properties, there are around 5 properties. Okay, so properties of logarithm, properties of logarithm, and that first one, log m into n to the base b. Property number 1, logarithm of m into n to the base b is equal to log m to the base b plus log n to the base b. Logarithm of product of two numbers is sum of their logarithms. Okay. Of course, here I have taken only two numbers. You can generalize this one also. In general, log of L into M into N so on to the base B can be written as log L to the base B plus log M to the base B plus log N to the base B plus so on. Okay. I have just generalized the first property. Next, property number 2. Second property, log of M by N to the base B is equal to log M to the base B minus log N to the base B. See here in the first one, logarithm converts product into sum. In the second one, logarithm converts division into subtraction, correct? Next, property number 3. Property number 3 is the most important one. Log of M power N to the base B. Log of M power N to the base B is N into log M to the base B. Log of M power N to the base B is N into log M to the base B. This is the property number 3. Fourth property has a special name, change of base formula. So that states that log M to the base B is equal to, here the base is B. We can change the base B, we can change the base of logarithm from B to any other valid base. I'll change base to some base A, then this becomes log M to the base A divided by log B to the base A. Okay. This property is known as change of base formula. Okay. Further, you can make a note of this. See, further you just make a note. Note number 1. Just cross multiply. What do we get? Log M to the base B into log B to the base A is equal to log M to the base A. Okay. Next, note number 2. Log M to the base B is equal to 1 by log B to the base M. You just use note number 1, you will get this. Okay. Or in other words, you just change the base to M, then you will get this rule. Next, last one. Note number 3. B to the power log X to the base B is equal to, I have already told you, exponential function and logarithmic function are inverse to each other. See here, B per something is exponential function, log of something, logarithmic function. These two are operated on X. It's something like addition and subtraction. If you just add and subtract something, the original value remains the same. So here X remains the same, correct? Because exponential function and logarithmic function are inverses of each other. Okay, inverse to each other. So you have to remember these properties of logarithm. Okay. So in the next class, we are going to discuss problems. Thank you.